Good evening and welcome to the Newshour Agenda. I'm Madhavdas. A controversy's favourite child, Sam Pitroda, has returned as the Indian Overseas Congress's chairman. He had stepped down from the position in the middle of the Lok Sabha elections after drawing flack over his remarks on India's diversity, which had racist overtones. The Congress party had accepted his resignation, hoping to contain the damage. Senior party leaders had then called the analogies drawn by Pitroda as most unfortunate and unacceptable. But soon after the elections, he's been reinstated, sparking a political storm once again. The BJP has accused the Congress party of hoodwinking the people of India and slammed Pitroda as a tormentor of the middle class. The BJP has also highlighted the timing of Pitroda's return, which came on the same day when Rahul took over as the leader of opposition. Let's listen in to what the BJP is saying to this.
कांग्रेस ने अपना असली चेहरा दिखाई दिया। सैम पित्रोदा जो परिवार के सबसे करीबी माने जाते हैं, राहुल गांधी के गुरु है, विदेश जाते राहुल गांधी तो वही सारी चीजें ऑर्गेनाइज करते हैं। उनको कॉस्मेटिकली चुनाव के दौरान तो निकाल दिया था। राहुल गांधी के लीडर ऑफ ऑपोजिशन बनने के बाद पहला बड़ा कदम है कांग्रेस पार्टी का। मतलब राहुल गांधी भारत तोड़ो करना चाहते हैं, इसलिए भारत को बांटने वाली बात करने वाले, भारत में प्रभु श्री राम और प्रभु श्री राम के मंदिर और रामनवमी के खिलाफ बोलने वाले व्यक्ति को राहुल गांधी ने फिर से कांग्रेस पार्टी में न केवल वापसी करवाई पर उनको सबसे बड़ा पद भी दे दिया।
Well, Sam Pitroda reinstated as overseas Congress president. He was never removed. It was just on papers. Sam Pitroda is ideologue of Congress, is think tank of Congress. Hua to hua. This is the true face of the Congress party, actually.
Let's now revisit some of the controversial comments made by Sam Pitroda, which had brought embarrassment to the Congress party. In the middle of the elections, Pitroda had said that Indians in the East look like Chinese, in the West look like Arabs, those in the North like whites, and those in the South like Africans. Listen in.
We could hold country together as diverse as India, where people on East look like Chinese, people on West look like Arab, people on North look like, maybe white, and people in South look like Africa. We could hold country together as diverse as India, where people on East look like Chinese.
A month earlier, he had stoked a crowd by batting for US-style inheritance tax in India, as per which 45% of the person's wealth goes to children and 55% to the state. Pitroda said a similar law should be discussed and debated for India. Listen in.
Let me tell you, in America, there is an inheritance tax. One has $100 million worth of wealth. And when he dies, he can only transfer probably 45% to his children. 55% is grabbed by government. Now, that's an interesting law. It says, you in your generation made wealth. You are leaving now. You must leave your wealth for public. Not all of it, half of it. Which to me sounds fair. In India, you don't have that. If somebody is worth 10 billion and he dies, his children get 10 billion. Public get nothing. These are the kind of issues people will have to debate, discuss.
All right, there's the first response coming in from the Congress party on Sam Pitroda's return. This is Jairam Ramesh, and he's put out a tweet saying that during the recent election campaign, Sam Pitroda had made some statements and comments that were totally unacceptable to the Indian National Congress. By mutual consent, he stepped down as chairman of the Overseas Indian Congress. Subsequently, he clarified the context in which his statements were made and how they were later distorted by the Modi campaign. The Congress president has reappointed him on the assurance that he will not in the future leave room for such controversies to arise. Let's quickly go across to Rishabh. Rishabh, while it's very interesting to see that Mr. Jairam Ramesh has said that Congress president has been assured that there will be no room for future controversies to arise, in just about 40 days back, it's the same Jairam Ramesh who said that the analogies drawn by Sam Pitroda in a podcast to illustrate India's diversity are unfortunate and unacceptable, and that the Congress completely disassociates itself from it. Now, of course, they are in fact turning the tables completely on also the BJP and saying that he has clarified his position.
Well, Madhav, definitely. The way within 40 days, the whole story has been changed. And BJP since day one, since Sam Pitroda was removed from the chairmanship of the Overseas Congress, have been saying that just wait for the elections to get over and you will find Sam Pitroda reinstated. That prophecy has come true. As the elections are over, the Congress have taken the LOP. Rahul Gandhi has become the LOP, and the first decision that we hear from Congress is reinstatement of Sam Pitroda as the chairman of the Overseas Congress. This showcases that how whatever he said, Congress somehow agree to it, and in a way, the Jairam Ramesh's tweet is an admission that Congress now feel that what he said was not controversial. The way Jairam Ramesh said that it was distorted, BJP used it for political gain, but now he has cleared his controversy. And the operative part that he will not leave space for such controversies in future.
Right.
It showcases that Sam Pitroda not only is important for Congress, but the Congress believe that his existence in Congress is important and
all right. We'll have to leave it there,
removed.
Rishabh. Certainly, of course, room for more controversy perhaps, but thanks so much for joining us with that quick update. Let's take this across to our guest now.
You're watching the News Hour at 10, debate number 1 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
All right, let's go across to our guest. Tuhin Sinha, national spokesperson of BJP, is with us. Dr. Anand Raghunathan, author, is with us. Arun Anand, the author and columnist, also joins us on the show. We have Tahseen Poonawala, political analyst, also will be joining us soon. Advocate Kapil Madan is joining us. He's a political analyst. We also have with us Professor Ronnie K. Baby, spokesperson of the Kerala Pradesh Congress Committee. And Romesh Sabharwal, leader of the Congress, is also joining us on the show. Let me start, Tahseen also through with us. Tahseen, let me begin by asking you, just 40 days ago, Jairam Ramesh had said in a post on X platform that analogies drawn by Sam Pitroda in a podcast to illustrate India's diversity are most unfortunate and unacceptable. Indian National Congress completely disassociates itself from these analogies. Now you are seeing them saying that the context in which he had made the statements and the clarifications were given by Mr. Sam Pitroda, they were later distorted by the Modi campaign, and Congress president has reappointed him on assurance that he will not in future leave room for such controversies to arise. What has changed in the last 40 days? And is it just coincidental that it's happening on the day that Rahul has taken over as LOP? Tahseen.
Thank you, Madhav, for having me on the show. No, it's not coincidental, and I congratulate the Congress. Why should you back out because the BJP manipulates something? Time and again, BJP manipulates anything, and they say anything. Those statements, I think, were not very good. I agree with that. But the context is something different. He was definitely not racial statements that he made. And he's clarified, and you must move on. The BJP that doesn't take action against anybody will now give us lectures on how to behave and what to behave. It is the duty of Congress to protect.
Okay, you can ask the BJP, there's no problem. You must ask the BJP
Correct.
also. There's no issue on that.
Correct.
But not just one comment, and a racist comment at that, but hua to hua, talking about inheritance tax. The number of issues on which Mr. Pitroda has perhaps given an upper hand to the BJP is pretty long. And when you say that these comments are unacceptable, one imagines that one will follow through with action.
Is the comments made on Mangal Sutra acceptable? Mujra acceptable? Who made those comments? So look, the fact is Mujra, Mangal Sutra, Bhais was all bought in by the Prime Minister. I think speaking about Mujra is terrible. I think calling people Ghuspatia is terrible. I think saying people बच्चों को बच्चे पैदा करने वाले जिनके 12 बच्चे होते, that is unacceptable. That's racial. So those actions are not taken. Those are even justified. Sam Pitroda is justified. I do agree that his statements do bring the Congress into a little bit of trouble, and he should be careful. But on the inheritance tax, I want to say one thing. The inheritance tax debate was even proposed by Arun Jaitley Ji. It's a debate. I don't agree for it. I think it's a terrible idea. I don't think India has any place for it. But people will propose. In a democracy, you don't propose and you don't have debates. Why should it be a bad thing?
Okay.
Did Sam Pitroda say
Let me bring in Tuhin Sinha on that. Tuhin Sinha, no action has been taken by the BJP when there have been controversial comments being taken. With what moral authority is the BJP questioning us today, says Tahseen Poonawala. Please respond to him.
Well, good evening, Madhav. Sam Pitroda is the person who advocated a draconian 55% wealth tax during the elections at a time when Rahul Gandhi was vaguely talking about some, X-ray scan of personal wealth. He's the person who unleashed the worst racial slurs upon our people, equating people in the eastern region with Chinese and those in the western region with African. He's the person who virtually condoned, the 1984 riots by saying hua to hua. Now, the way he has been reinstalled immediately after the elections, number one, it shows that Congress party is the master of deception. Number two, Rahul Gandhi is in complete alignment with the absurd statements made by Sam Pitroda throughout the elections. Now, my point is, why do they stop at Sam Pitroda? Today, I am demanding, why is Manishankar Iyer not being reinstated? Because when Manishankar Iyer went to Pakistan in 2015 and said कि आपकी मदद चाहिए हमें मोदी जी को हटाने के लिए, that again was probably a sentiment shared with the top leadership, shared between the top leadership of the party and him. So he should also be reinstated today.
Why stop at Sam Pitroda? Get back Manishankar Iyer also, says the BJP. Respond to that, Tahseen.
We will get back who we want to bring and not bring that. We don't need lectures on the BJP. He's not answered on Mangal Sutra. He's not answered on Mujra. I'm asking you one question. Does it behove the most honorable Prime Minister of India to speak about Mujra? Does it behove that the Prime Minister said, and I quote him, that the bhais of people will be taken and distributed amongst Muslims?
Can
12 crore bhais in India, 6. Does it behove the Prime Minister? I am saying Sam Pitroda may have said something that is ridiculous. Manishankar Iyer. If you give me a lecture, first talk about the Prime Minister. Should the Prime Minister be talking about Mujra? Okay. I will not take a lecture from you. Hear me out.
Madhav,
listen very categorically. Look at me in the eyes.
Yeah.
We will do what we want.
Okay.
We will defend who we want. It is our duty to defend.
Yeah.
We will not take a lecture.
Yeah, but
from
then
you.
it cannot be in contradiction with your public stance that has been taken either, Tahseen Poonawala. But quick response from you to him before I move across to others.
Let me respond to that quickly.
Not from the BJP. Very clear.
One minute. Tahseen, you made your point.
Keeps referring to the... Since the Congress party keeps referring to certain comments made by the Prime Minister, somehow, they don't get the art of talking in a contextual manner. Fact is, Prime Minister Modi was referring to the OBC, the theft of reservation from the OBC community in favor of the minority community, which is unconstitutional. In fact, during the election, the same theft from the OBC community of reservations was called out by the Kolkata High Court, which ruled against the Mamata Banerjee government for doing the same thing. So Prime Minister Modi ji was making a point. If he had used a reference, that was certainly not the same as what Sam Pitroda was saying. Sam Pitroda was unleashing the worst racial slurs upon Indians.
Okay, let me bring in Romesh Sabharwal on that note. Romesh Sabharwal, is this nothing but an attempt to some way, where Mr. Rahul Gandhi has perhaps decided on the day that he takes over as LOP, that look here, he needs somebody who's a very close advisor, someone who travels on international tours with him, advises him even perhaps on other issues, it's a stamp that has Rahul Gandhi's decision written all over it. Would you agree, Romesh Sabharwal?
No. The Congress president is not Mr. Rahul Gandhi. The Congress president is Mallikarjun Kharkar ji. Moreover, he is from South. He is our leader of the opposition in Rajya Sabha also, Mr. Kharke. The BJP always wants to divide the country. The whole election they were doing Hindu-Muslim. Now, today the speaker has taken over, the new parliament is came.
So what is Mr. Pitroda doing, sir? Dividing between north, south, east, west, saying African, European, Arab, Chinese. That was not dividing?
Sir, I'm explaining that. Sam Pitroda ji is not my Congress president. If he has done some mistake, some slip of tongue, he has given the clarifications. My party has taken a view. My party has given, the official spokesman has given a statement.
And he's given back the post in 40 days.
He will not do some distortion. तो क्या हो गया सर? कोई प्राइम मिनिस्टर बना दिया हमने उनको? अच्छा, ओवरसीज डिपार्टमेंट एक छोटा सा डिपार्टमेंट है. क्या है ओवरसीज डिपार्टमेंट?
डॉक्टर रंगनाथन, क्या हो गया? बना दिया तो छोटा सा डिपार्टमेंट है. It sounds almost like हुआ तो हुआ. Almost sounds like हुआ तो हुआ.
Hua to hua. No, good evening, Madhav, and good evening to my fellow panelists. Look, over the past couple of days, BJP supporters might say that Modi has done really well, the speaker's post and so many other decisions, but I think this has been the real masterstroke by Modi. Reinstatement of Sam Pitroda. This has Modi's handwritten all over it. No, but to be serious, look, you must understand, whatever Sam Pitroda said does not reflect Sam's mindset. This is the mindset of the Congress. They want to divide India because dividing India is what they've been doing for 75 years. This is their core expertise, bhai. And they think once they have divided India, they will easily be able to rule it. Remember, this is the same Sam Pitroda who uttered that despicable phrase, hua to hua, in trying to rationalize the 1984 Sikh genocide perpetrated by the Congress. This is the same Sam Pitroda who wanted to punish the middle class into paying more taxes, who wanted to levy an inheritance tax, who wanted to redistribute the wealth and reduce everyone and make everyone poor. This is the same Sam Pitroda.
We are true Indians.
Mother,
Mr. Sabharwal, you can rebut that. Yes. Mr. Sabharwal, I'll give you a turn to rebut his statement. Let him complete. Let Dr. Nathan complete. Yes.
Yeah, this is not the Lok Sabha. Mr. Sabharwal, have some patience. You can't rush. There is no well here you can rush to. So please be calm. Your chance to embarrassing yourself might come. Look, now, Madhav, where was I? I was talking about the inheritance tax. I was then talking about the same Sam Pitroda who said something is wrong with the EVMs. Give me 1 year to study its circuitry and I will tell you what. Sam has been studying Rahul Gandhi for 40 years and he still hasn't figured out what is wrong with the circuitry. But then, as is the want, Sam went too far, leaving even the Congress at that point of time shamefaced and rushing to condemn him. Sam's statement, Madhav, was preposterous. Race is not a scientific concept. Science aati nahi hai, bolne lag gaye, purity even less so. Not only are 8 billion humans 99.97% genetically identical, modern human genome is but a mishmash of primate, plant, bacterial, parasite and viral DNA. Only fools conflate investigating genetic ancestry with racial purity. There is nothing like Indians who are Chinese, Indians who are Africans, Indians who are Arabs and Indians who are whites. This kind of generalization was condemnable. But did Sam say, I'm sorry? No, he didn't. He just went away and now he's come back as if khane peene gaye the, paan kha ke wapis aa gaye.
Respond to that. I want Professor Ronnie Baby to come in on that. Professor Ronnie Baby, do you agree with Mr. Pitroda's comments that, North Indians look like whites, South Indians look like Africans, East Indians look like Arabs or like Chinese? Do you agree with the comments of Mr. Sam Pitroda?
Congress party categorically made it clear that we are not agreeing with the analogy which was used by Sam Pitroda. But we have to discuss the intention, what he really meant. In comparison between the East people with the Mongolians or the South people with these Africans, what he meant really was the beauty of the diversity of India. We have to protect that beauty. He really meant. The person who spoke...
Sir, you can talk about the diversity of India without making racist comments. That's the point.
No.
Who's challenging the diversity and the unity and diversity of India? One has to be conscious of how one says it.
Madhav, what is racism there? Racism means that something is superior and something is inferior. He has not made any statement that...
No, I'm sorry. You are comparing an entire region of India with a race.
Because everybody knows the anthropology. Everybody knows the anthropology that the people...
This is anthropology. What are you saying, sir?
No,
Professor Baby, please, I beg of you on national television, please don't call this anthropology. For heaven's sake.
The South Indian people, they are proto-Africans. It's very clear. The North Indian people, their lineage is with the Aryans. And the people who are living in the Northeast, their lineage is with the Mongolian. It's very clear, no. What Sam Pitroda was really meant to, he want to show how diverse India is and how beauty of that diversity. That was really meant. But not agree with him that the kind of analogy which was he used. We really accept his intention about that inheritance. What he meant, he advocated that only for the rich people, not for the rich.
Let me for a moment, so Professor Baby, I think you have spoken so much on this issue, supporting Mr. Pitroda. Let me ask you, do you also think his comment saying hua to hua for the 1984 riots was justified? Hua to hua means what happened has happened. So what? Practically it means so what?
What BJP is saying about Gujarat, what BJP and Narendra Modi, Amit Shah is saying about Gujarat. They are saying hua to, whatever has been done, it's over. The same language BJP is...
Who has said this? What are you saying, Professor Baby? Nobody can justify any riot. The point is when you come out publicly and say or make a casual statement like hua to hua. Who is saying Gujarat riots are correct? Who has said it's correct? Please quote who has justified riots.
No, nobody is justifying 1984 riots. We know that it is a...
He said it, sir. He said hua to hua. That is the point we are making.
That is stand of BJP, no. They are still justifying what happened in Gujarat.
Professor Ronnie Baby, for once, forget BJP, forget Congress. Here you have a person who says that 84 riots happened, hua to hua. Can you justify this statement?
Did he justify it? No, we are not justifying it. We are not supporting it. We are not supporting it. Everybody knows that whatever happened in 1994, it should be, it is a dark period of Indian history. We know it.
Dr. Raghunathan.
Yes. Now, Madhav, I don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater, but I want a very simple question to be answered. Very simple. We've just had the anniversary, 50th anniversary, nearly 50th anniversary of the emergency. Will Mr. Baby condemn Indira Gandhi for bringing on the emergency? Yes and no. Just say yes and no.
No, we are strongly with the Indira Gandhi because Indira Gandhi declared emergency, the Indian democracy is still surviving. You know what was done RSS 1975?
Madhav,
they used it.
They are supporting Indira Gandhi.
No. You
what are you saying, sir?
No.
Tahseen, stop smiling and help him.
Professor Baby, please think carefully before you speak. I would just urge you. You may support Indira Gandhi, but are you saying every Congress leader who has spoken has said that we agree there were problems with the emergency? You are justifying the emergency today on national television?
What JP said?
Professor Baby, are you justifying the emergency on national television today?
To come out and openly to the revolution against the Indira Gandhi government.
The whole point is democratic norms were crushed. Articles of constitution were not allowed to be appealed on. Courts were silenced.
Yeah.
All that is normal according to you. All that is democratic.
All that the court was silent. Even the Supreme Court supported this national emergency.
Let me bring in Dr. Arun Anand, who's an author and columnist. Dr. Arun Anand, you've written extensively on this subject. And Arun Anand, I want you to just tell Professor Ronnie Baby, who's a spokesperson of the Kerala Pradesh Congress Committee, what he believes that democracy thrived even post the emergency, why he's factually incorrect. Would you like to respond to him on that?
No, I think, I'll take up this point which he had talked about, that the judiciary was free. When Justice H.R. Khanna had given a dissent note in the judgment related to Indira Gandhi's case, so he was overlooked to be promoted as the Chief Justice, and he really suffered. And so it is not that the judiciary was, functioning very independently. The judiciary was also, and the amendments, we generally talk about the 42nd amendment, but the amendments which were brought about through 38, 39, 40 and 41. These were other 4 amendments which were brought in the constitution and which basically gagged the press, gagged the judiciary, and then, it's on record, the compulsory sterilization program. So then 7 lakh people overnight were displaced in Turkman Gate area, because, somebody had this wild dream of doing an urban renewal program. And the commission which was set up after 1977, so it has pointedly, point by point, it has listed all and it was a constitutional commission. And it has listed all the atrocities which were committed and all the unconstitutional steps which were taken.
Yeah, let me quickly bring in Advocate Kapil Madan on that note. Advocate Kapil Madan, this is the only time, or these few instances that we discussed so far aren't the only time that Sam Pitroda has perhaps embarrassed the Congress party. His other comments that it happens all the time when it comes to Balakot airstrikes, or that temples won't create jobs on the 6th of June 2023, all of these comments have repeatedly drawn flack or given perhaps ammunition to the BJP to attack the Congress on. All of that has been forgotten today. Please unmute yourself and speak. I think there's a problem with that audio connection, but I see Tahseen's hand going up. Tahseen, please respond. Balakot airstrikes, it happens all the time. Temples won't create jobs. All of these have been controversial statements of Sam Pitroda. All of this has been forgotten now.
Look, I admit Sam is not the best communicator. So let's first admit that. He's not the best communicator. My advice to him is don't communicate, as the Congress president has rightly advised him. Don't communicate, and his personal opinions should not be made the opinions of the Congress. But many statements are made by many people in the BJP. Okay, you want to justify what the Prime Minister said. Can we justify Shamshan Kabristan? Can we justify Dangayo ko kaise kapdo se pehchana jata hai? I filed a complaint against the Honorable Prime Minister. So one is an intention of actually making communal statements as the BJP does. One is a statement that is made that are not acceptable, but they have made statements that have caused embarrassment to the Congress. Now he should be careful. Nobody's denying that. But is his intention to cause division? I think that is the fundamental question you should look at. He's given an explanation. But I'm once again going to say very, very, very categorically. Yes, Sam has said some things. He's given an explanation. And I think he's answerable to you, Madhav.
There's been 40 days out in the cold and suddenly reinstated.
What can I say?
If you feel that the statement that he made correct was wrong, why was he made to resign in the first place? And what has he done now for in 40 days for him to be reinstated? Was it just the BJP? And listen, this is where the problem is. Listen to me. This is where the problem is. The BJP is saying that this was nothing but an attempt to hoodwink the voting public of India because that happened during the elections. Now that elections are over, you've decided to undo that.
I don't think we should take the BJP or DC seriously. The point is within 40 days an inquiry was held.
It happened when polls were on.
True. And despite polls being on, an inquiry was conducted, his point of view taken, and the matter is over. It so happens coincidentally that polls are on. But let me now ask you, we will do what it takes to protect and safeguard our people. It is important that the Congress does it. My one problem I have with the Congress doesn't safeguard people like how BJP safeguards its people. So we should do it and don't get scared of the BJP. The BJP is a bully party. Don't be bullied by the BJP. Stand by your people as long as they're not doing wrong. He's made silly statements. I'm not disputing Sam Pitroda's statements. So advise him like Kharge ji has advised him not to speak in public. I do accept that advice. But there's no ill intention. There's no intention of communal divide.
Okay. Dr. Anandhan wants to respond to you. Dr. Anandhan.
Statements are not there.
Tahseen has spoken very sensibly and I agree with him. I just want to ask him a simple question when he's talking about intention. Tahseen, you would remember a gentleman called Imran Masood. What were his intentions when he said Narendra Modi ko boti kar denge? He was sacked from the Congress. I can't quite remember. Please jog my memory. Tahseen, was he reinstated by the Congress?
He was.
Was he?
He was.
And what was your reaction right now? What happened, Tahseen?
Correct. That's a very good question. Of course, I'll tell you. Imran Masood was not just sacked from the Congress government threw him in jail. Tell me a BJP who's thrown their own people in jail. That's the level of commitment Congress had. That is the level. Now look at the amount. Now there was a gentleman. No. He went to jail. He suffered. There was a gentleman who wanted to poison Kharge ji. What happened to the BJP? Took action against him. That's what I'm saying. Congress is one step ahead always. Congress threw Imran Masood in jail. Threw him in jail. The guy was in jail for, I think, almost a month. What has BJP done? Who has BJP thrown in jail?
Okay.
BJP polarizes.
I think that's a fair question because Arga Janedra's comments had caused a huge amount of controversy at that time as well. Tuhin, I think you should answer that because in 2023, BJP leader and former State Minister Arga Janendra made a racist comment against Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge addressing the protest gathering in his constituency in Shivamoga. Janendra had said that people from that region turn pitch black under the scorching sun. They look burnt and are black in complexion. It's evident by seeing Kharge. He appears presentable since his head provides him some shade. This is an extremely derogatory and racist comment to make. The point I'm making is racist comments are there across the board. Is action taken on everyone? Tuhin.
Against a Dalit.
1 second,
Against
please.
a Dalit.
No, such a statement is utterly condemnable. But the point is, Tahseen keeps dragging the Prime Minister into everything. Prime Minister has been effective. He's one of the best communicators in the world. And you're comparing him with Sam Pitroda, the most pathetic communicator. I think the debate should have some gravitas. Now, let me address an important question over here. I've been hearing for a long time. Mr. Baby seemed to be trivializing the racial slurs employed by Sam Pitroda. Now, I will tell you what is wrong with it. Since he kept asking what is wrong with it, there are two things very gravely wrong with comparing Indians with Chinese and comparing Indians with Arabs. Number one, you believe the Congress party seems to believe that Indians are not an original race, which is grossly incorrect. And number two, you refuse to see India as a civilizational nation. For you, history started in 1198 AD with the invasion. For us, the history of this nation goes back 7,000 years. That is that is why Sam Pitroda's remarks are so condemnable, but the Congress seems to be trivializing it every now and then.
Kapil Madan is back with us. Kapil Madan, please respond to that.
I'll make a very quick reference, and I would like to thank my good friend Anand Ranganathan here. He made a very interesting, educated us about a concept in science that every human being is genetically similar. What I would tell my good friend Anand is that, it is none other than our Honorable Prime Minister who needs this information right now. Because every now and then it will be our Honorable Prime Minister who will be, trying to divide our people on the basis of, their caste, class. And I would also, like to borrow what my friend Tahseen called. If Anand's, which I firmly believe what Anand is saying is correct. Every human being is genetically similar. If that is the case, I think, Anand, you should be calling out the Honorable Prime Minister right now on the national television.
We have made this point of Prime Minister twice in this debate. Kapil, you're just repeating what Tahseen has said twice already. Let's quickly take the debate forward. Let's take the debate forward, please. We've already had that counter also. Tahseen has said it. I have no problem with you attacking Prime Minister or anybody. But the point is, it's been made already.
No, Madhav, I am making a different point.
It's the same point, sir.
Anand has made a very interesting and a very important point. But I think who needs this information the most is none other than Honorable Prime Minister.
Okay, Dr. Ranganathan.
Yeah. Thank you, Kapil. Thank you for your very warm compliments. आज पता नहीं कहां से सुबह उठे जो आप इतने showers कर रहे हो उस पे compliment, but thank you. But please tell me one instance where Mr. Narendra Modi has made a racist remark, and I promise you I will. I don't know whether he'll allow me to meet him, but if I ever meet him, I will repeat verbatim what I've told you. Tell me one instance where he is racist.
Now tell me something when he is calling out, particular sect of community as people who have more population. When he calls a particular set of community where he
has himself explained. Madhav, please
tell me who's Guspeti.
How is that racist?
Tell me. Aap batao who's
number one.
Now how is it? Something who's Guspeti?
One by one, please. One by one. Kapil, let Dr. Nathan complete and then you can come in.
Was he referring
now, one second.
Was he referring to when
Kapil, please.
There is a particular...
Kapil, please, let's be sensible. Thank you so much. Look, I myself said I qualified my remarks as talking against racism. Now, whatever you've said, number one, there is nothing racist about it. Number two, I think the Prime Minister himself clarified that when he said some people are having more children, how on earth did everyone believe he was talking about Muslims? He was talking about Hindus as well. Did he not clarify that, Madhav?
All right, that clarification has come in. I think we're taking the debate in a totally different tangent. Let me bring it back to the issue at hand. Romesh Sabharwal, the issue at hand is still what Sam Pitroda has said and done. The point that many are asking about, and the BJP is particularly pointing out, and I pointed this question out earlier, is that whether this was done just to hoodwink, quote unquote, as BJP is alleging, the people of India during elections.
No, he did. His slip of tongue was there, and that's why he resigned.
How many
and
slips,
the party fired him also at that time. There is no doubt about that. Sir, he stays outside. He's not a Congress party. He's a part of what department I told you. We have hundreds of departments in the Congress party. He's not a Congress president.
He's part of the Congress party.
My Congress president is Mr. Khadke, who's a South Indian himself. No, what is wrong? I have not been able to understand. If somebody has done some mistake, he has apologized. The matter is over. Should we murder him? Should we throw him out from India? He's not Indian. This is not the way. Somebody does
40
mistake.
Days ago, you removed him during elections. After elections, he's brought back. That's all right.
Sir, we have not removed him. He resigned. Sir, he resigned, sir. He's not.
No. Let me read out. Let me read out what Jairam Ramesh said. Let me read out what Jairam Ramesh said. I'm quoting exactly what he said on the 8th of May. He says that Mr. Sam Pitroda has decided to step down as chairman of Indian Overseas Congress. Congress president has accepted his decision. Today, he has said that at that point of time, we had a discussion. Let me read out the exact quote for you. He has specifically said this. All right. He said that he made some states that were by mutual consent, he stepped down as chairman of Overseas Indian Congress. Mutual consent is the word, not on his own. So that statement of Mr. Jairam Ramesh has also changed in 40 days.
Sir, I'm reading the statement of Mr. Sam Pitroda. I was not sacked. I stepped down willingly. The remarks were not racism. It is the racist people who think that they were, because it was racist. The racist people, the people who have divided the country.
Sir, I am reading out today's tweet of Jairam Ramesh made at 9:53. It is a post on the X platform. He says by mutual consent he stepped down as chairman of Overseas Indian Congress. Mutual consent. Sir, mutual consent.
सर मैं उसके बाद का पढ़ के बता रहा हूँ
9:53 के बाद का
पढ़ के बता रहा हूँ सैम पिट्रोडा जी.
All right. Arun Anand.
अभी 1 मिनट पहले आया है.
Okay. So Sam Pitroda, you will not believe Jairam Ramesh, who officially heads the media department of the Congress party and the communication. Fair enough. Arun Anand, what are we to make of this? And what's the takeaway for the people of India? Because everyone's going to look at this debate and wonder what exactly is going on. Are we looking at a situation where perhaps every political side is pretty much brazing it out now.
I think it's, Congress is on upswing and they haven't even got the 100 seats. But these are indications of things to come. That there seems to be, a disconnect with the sentiment of the people. So it is not about that BJP has raised this issue, so that is why this issue is important. The point is that the comments made by Sam Pitroda, they hurt the sentiments of large number of people, the common people also. So I think Congress is ignoring the sentiments of the people. और ये वैसा ही है कि ठीक है अब हमारे numbers आ रहे हैं तो हमारी मर्जी करेंगे. So these are indications of things to come, and this is sheer political opportunism. And I'm not saying that only Congress is doing it. I think it is happening across the political spectrum. But you also have leaders in Congress holding important positions who made derogatory remarks against Kangana Ranaut, who made derogatory remarks against Hema Malini, who also made derogatory remarks against Prime Minister, as Mr. Ranganathan had pointed out one of the remarks. So I think this is Congress as a responsible opposition. I think it needs to do some more introspection, and I think it smacks of sheer political opportunism.
It's political opportunism. Kapil Madan, respond to that.
Well, Madhav, all I would say is that, yes, a statement was made, but a statement was made in a completely different context. If you read the entire statement, in that statement he was saying that India is a diverse country which has so many, cultures and, diverse cultures. And in that context, that statement was made. And however, I agree with you that, those kind of, remarks or, the reference could have been avoided. But the fact is, if you, look at it, whether there was any kind of an ill will, whether there was any kind of, ill intent while making
Kapil Madan, I just hope you're not going to end up repeating Professor Ronnie Baby's remarks that this is anthropology. But on that note, let me end this debate here. Tuhin Sinha, Dr. Anand Ranganathan, Arun Anand, Tahseen Poonawala, Kapil Madan, Professor Ronnie K. Baby, Romesh Sabharwal. I'd like to thank all of you for joining us this evening. Perhaps you haven't heard the last word yet on this. We will, of course, have to see what the repercussions are, because tomorrow is the President's address to the joint session of Parliament. And, of course, in Parliament, we'll certainly be seeing reactions to this development as well. Moving on to debate number 2.